Hey guys, what is up? It's Kat here. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me today. I am so once again very delayed in getting this video out for you guys, but as I mentioned the last time, it took me forever to post a review video for the Bad Batch. Regardless of how long it takes me to publish these videos, I am determined to make one for every single episode, so we are already super behind this week. So without further ado, I am just gonna jump right in and get right to it. So this past episode from last week, I overall thought it was very fun. It was a very rewatchable episode, but maybe I'm just so selfish and impatient, I don't know, but I just really wish that these episodes were longer. I don't know, I just really struggle with waiting a week in between 20-minute long episodes. Again, I know how completely selfish that sounds, and I say that as I have no idea how long or complicated or complex of a process it is to create an animated television show. So I say that knowing that I am completely oblivious to that process and how time consuming and extensive it may be. So I understand for the animators' sake, shorter episodes are perhaps easier, but I just really wish they were longer, man. I don't know. It was just very short, and I feel like it didn't lend so much to any overarching plot, really. I don't know. It just felt very much like a side mission, which is totally fine. But I feel like, I don't know, I was expecting more arcs with this show. Kind of like Clone Wars had, a formula typically of 4 episode chunks that would create this overarching arc that were consecutive within the grand context of the overarching show. And so I guess I was expecting more of that, more consecutive episodes with a back-to-back continuation of what was happening in the previous episode, or episodes ending with cliffhangers because the next one is going to continue the same storyline. I don't know. And I feel like that formula also just helps these shorter episodes to just inherently feel longer, like if they were part of a more consecutive and continuing storyline, like a more extended storyline that spans beyond just a 25-minute cap. Let me know if you guys feel the same way, if that was the same expectation that you had for the series. I don't think there is anything wrong with, what has been happening so far. Each episode has an ending and a beginning, like a conflict and a resolution. It all happens, it's a quick turnaround, and then the next episode is a blank slate. I will say though, I had the same, feelings towards Mandalorian season 1 when I thought that, it was the episodes were, there was no continuation. Each episode was a new blank slate, a new predicament, and then a solution, and then it started all over again. However, that show ended with an incredible series finale that had a more consecutive feeling. So I'm not giving up hope by any means. I have total faith in Dave Filoni's, overall vision, and I truly feel like this, this season is going to pick up and end on a really high note, and then I'm gonna watch back all my reviews and regret any, negative things that I might have said about it, but that's just my feelings right now. Going forward with the show, I really hope that the episodes have a more consecutive, a 4 arc type thing, or even a 2 episode arc or something like that. More extended storylines with an episode or 2 maybe ending off with a cliffhanger. That's fun. That feels like Clone Wars. But again, let me know if that's just me or what you guys think. But again, I just want to reiterate, I still enjoyed this episode. As I had mentioned in a previous review, I was really hoping that there wasn't going to be just this formulaic pattern of Omega wandering off and getting into trouble, and then the rest of the Bad Batch having to come and save her. So I was really glad to see that it was the roles being reversed in this episode, and we had to see Omega now kind of think on her feet and problem solve to try to get the Bad Batch out of trouble there. Seeing the Zygerians again was, not cool, because they are gross. They are just, disgusting. It was very reminiscent of Clone Wars, of course, and seeing them now in this context had me just thinking oh, what if this is foreshadowing? What if we're gonna see Vader in the future of this show, come back and hunt down the Zygerians and slay them all like he wanted to in the Clone Wars? Probably not gonna happen. That's definitely wishful thinking, but I don't know, seeing them again, I was like, what if this could be building up to some super epic Vader content where we see him come back and slay them. I really liked this new little addition, or like brief a little elaboration again, of Omega's capabilities, with her being able to detect that Sid was lying, or that Sid was, you know, Sid or whatever. Her being able to pick up on who Sid was. It was a very, you know, quick little detail, but I feel like it helps narrow down maybe what her abilities are. Is she like a mind reader now? Can she like read people's thoughts, or can she like detect people's auras, like people's personas? Like I don't really know, but I feel like that tidbit helped narrow down the potential of her perhaps having mind reading capabilities. I don't think it lends though to the question of whether or not she is a Force user, but at this point I don't think that she is. I think she just has these special mind reading powers. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I hope that in future episodes we get to see more elaboration on this, or like, I don't know, her mind reading capabilities maybe getting out of control at one point, like kind of how we see with Rey when she realizes that she can like shoot lightning. I think that would be interesting if we see like Omega, who is a very innocent, sweet, inquisitive character, using her capabilities in perhaps a negative way, or getting out of control with them. I liked the Moochie twist in this episode. I really wish that I could have been in the room where they were presenting their animated Rancor concept art, because that was probably such an interesting process, taking that kind of a creature and putting it into animated form. I think it was really cool to see. I loved the sound effects that Moochie had, like just that Rancor roar totally brought me back to Return of the Jedi, and that part of that film, like the opening, is one of my favorite parts of that movie. Although rest in peace Moochie, I guess, like that was such an interesting twist as well. Like I never, after seeing that it was a Rancor like charging out of this cage, it did not at all like cross my mind, like what if that's Jabba's Rancor? Like I wasn't even thinking about that until we saw Bib. So that was really interesting but sad twist, because it's like, oh, we know how Moochie dies. But yeah, I would have just loved to see some of the additional concept art for an animated Rancor, but I thought that was really cool. And as you guys know, I had mentioned before, I love seeing familiar characters in new contexts and having that little bit of nostalgia, kind of like we had with the Attack of the Clones cat that scratches Padme's back in episode 2. So the Moochie vs. Dragon battle was very cool as well. It was a cool little piece of like super violent, like Moochie like just throwing this dragon up and down on the ground, like. But yeah, I liked that. I think that was a redeeming part of this episode, even though it didn't really advance the Bad Batch plot like too much, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I liked that it tied into and had this connection to the overarching lore, the canon of the bigger picture of Star Wars. And of course, the Night Sister bow. I did not realize that Omega was gonna stumble across the energy bow that quickly in this show. To be honest, I thought it would be a bigger moment, but it was kind of interesting that she just like finds it on the side of this rubble. Like, I was very curious as to how it just got there and how it was just literally just like sitting out in the open, but there was a lot of destruction of the surrounding architecture on this in this kind of, you know, new location, this like destructed city where the Zygerians were keeping them hostage. So I feel like the fact that she sees the Night Sister bow near all of this like rubble and stuff insinuates that perhaps there was a battle there at some point and that's how it got there. I don't know. I'm just curious to see them all like gonna get back to the ship and Omega's gonna whip out her new like bow and the Bad Batch being like, literally, where did you get that? Like, how? What? But yeah, I think also it will be interesting. I kind of like that she has found the bow this quickly now, because she has her own weapon and she won't be so like helpless and needing the others to like protect or defend her. And if she's again in this type of situation where it's her having to save the Bad Batch in this type of scenario, she has a bow now. She has a Night Sister energy bow. Not that she's like been helpless, but she can carry her own weight a little bit more. But yeah, those are pretty much just my overall thoughts on the episode. Again, I want to reiterate, I enjoyed this episode. It was really fun to watch through the first time. It was a very fun rewatch, but I am just hoping maybe that there will be more consecutive arcs going forward in the show, or more, you know, episodes that bleed into each other with some cliffhangers. We have 16 episodes total. Like, I don't want all of them to each be a start and stop, starting and stopping. So, you know, I'm hoping that going forward there will be some more cliffhangers, some more just multiple episodic arcs. But once again, let me know your guys' thoughts. Am I totally just like in the wrong here? Am I just being a selfish Star Wars fan who just constantly wants more content? Let me know if you're in agreement, or if you prefer the just starting and stopping, and, you know, the conflict and resolution and then like blank slate episodes that we've been getting so far. If you do, let me know. And of course, let me know your thoughts on this week's episode as well. Again, I'm so sorry that it took me literally forever to get this review out. I had a busy weekend, and I honestly wasn't even able to watch the episode until like 3 days after it aired. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and for being patient with me. As always, please share your thoughts below. Any predictions or just any thoughts you have on the Bad Batch and what you hope to see going forward. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. I really hope that you guys have been doing so well, as always. May the Force be with you guys always, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.